Yeah. Ready? Okay, guys, I guess my camera stopped recording for a minute, but we fixed it. So, I believe I left off of how to install recoil spring guide rod. So, make sure you get some lube on your bolt carrier, like so. Lube inside there, which I already did. And put a little lube inside the bolt carrier where the recoil spring guide rod goes. So, you're gonna keep these little, keep this horizontal when you put it in. Make sure this is at 12 o'clock. You're gonna turn it quarter turn, so push it through, and then spin it back to 3 and 9, so that way it doesn't, doesn't fall out. Okay. You want to put a little lube on your air shaft. Make sure that especially if you're assembling it for the first time, make sure everything has lots of lube on it, because you're gonna need it for breaking it in. Next, just slide the bolt carrier group into the upper receiver, and it should just rest right in there just like this. And that's the whole upper receiver, minus, if you want to put your handguard on now, you can. I put my pin in there like that, but I did. So, put your handguard back on. Polymer or metal, whichever one you have. Put your pin back in. There you go. That is your completed upper receiver. Okay, I'll just put that aside for a moment and work on the lower now. Now, the trigger pack, you should already know how to put that together from referencing my first video. You're going to take your prepared lower receiver that you've already stripped and get ready to drop everything in it. So, if you have the integrated grip line, you're going to want to feed the grip line through the bottom here, and because the grip line is too thick to fit through that bottom hole, I don't recommend modifying the kit at all or drilling a bigger hole. Shouldn't do that. What you need to do is just feed it through the bottom, and then once it comes through the bottom, get your thread tape on the threads of the grip line, and then just thread your air block on. You can put a little drop of super glue right between the air block and the, I really don't know what to call it, just a little brass fitting that's on the integrated grip line. More than likely, if you didn't buy the integrated grip line, you're gonna come with just a regular macro line, and it'll fit through easily. You can put this back together and put it through and in after. So once you've got your air block set up ready, make sure you fold the sear forward, push that in, and let it rest on the bottom. Okay? Now, it's important because you won't be able to put your selector lever in without adjusting these screws. You need to back them out a little bit. I said reference the first video I made if you don't know what to do here. Yeah, I stripped one of those screws, so I had to repair it, but I'm looking for a replacement at the moment. So this said prepared, ready to go. This is gonna drop right in, no problem. Straight down, line out the bottom. This should be flush with the rear, and then just push it down. Should drop right in. It might be a little tight the first time. Like I said, everything on the first time is just a little bit tighter than usual. So, your next step, losing my towel there, is to, again, you modify the selector lever, right where we talked about earlier. Right there, that little cut I made with the Dremel. 5 minutes, easy. You're going to take it and put it in the semi position once you've loosened those two screws to by loosening those two screws, it actually takes the detents and lets them move freely backwards, so you can slide this in. So that should slide in pretty easily, just like that. See, you leave it on semi, alright? Don't do anything with the levers yet. Go over to your right side selector, leave it in semi, and it should just drop right in. I need to rotate it for a second. Mine's giving me some trouble here. There we go. Put in. I like to put things on safe just as a good habit. And then I'll go and I will tighten down the screws. Now, I don't recommend Loctiting this in case you have to take this thing apart. But nice hand tightening should be pretty good. So I stripped one of the screws before. You know, that was my fault because I'm an idiot. So just be careful not to strip your screws, guys. To be honest, finding little screws like this is a little bit hard, at least around here for me. So Home Depot only helps so much. So get a nice hand tighten on it. Okay. Now, put your selector in semi, and then go to full auto. Make sure you hear a click. Your detents are in there and working properly. Okay? Take your full auto lever and drop it down into the recession part of that slot you cut on the selector. Okay? Semi-auto lever. Push this ear back and drop it underneath there. It should just go right underneath there. So again, I'm not going to do it here, but if you want to watch the first video, you'll see how the levers work. Okay? Next, this piece here. It's just a retaining shelf for everything. Keeps everything together and has a spot for the recoil guide rod to sit. Right in here is a little slot for it. It's pretty simple. It just slides right in. It'll be a little tight at first. Like I said, everything's a little tight. And then just hand fit it down nice and tight. Okay? So there you go. Now, I did the trigger modification so that on semi, my sear pushes the valve all the way. Just like in full auto. Just like Tony talked about in his video. So again, I put things in safe just because it's, you know, the habit. Take your stock now, which is modified, like we talked about. And make sure you pull your pin out so you don't break something. And slide it on. Push your pin in. And there's your completed lower with your completed upper. Now, one thing I did, and you don't have to do this, you can leave it like it is. I took my bottom plate, a nice big drill bit because I have the wide line, and I drilled it out because I like the bottom plate. So you can do it, you can not do it, but either way, that's how it goes on. So we're going to move right into putting this together. So the first time you're going to notice that it might be a little tight. Put a little bit of lube on your O-rings inside your air block. And again, lube your air shaft. So that way it slides in nice and easy. This air shaft needs to meet up with that hole. Okay? It's going to be tight at first, and you got to be careful not to bend anything. It's easy to just there you go. You have to pull out a little bit like that. You can do that, and it should just, you want to make sure you lift it up so that way you can get that feed tube up above the receiver. Okay? Push your front pin in, rear body pin, which I have here, and there you go. Your completed MSK Daytona. Sounds nice, huh? So that's how you do it, guys. It's pretty simple and straightforward. So I hope everything helped, and if you guys have any questions or need something clarified or close-up pictures and stuff, just leave me a comment. And if you can leave a like or share this, it'd be cool. I'm just starting the channel up, and I'm hoping that people will start watching more. Thanks, guys.